A new leak tied to Apple's project in 240 just spilled the one thing Ultra owners have been complaining about since day one. Apple's been sitting on the real Ultra upgrade for years. And if you're about to spend around $800 on an Apple Watch Ultra 3, pause, because the Ultra 4 sounds like the first model that actually earns the word Ultra with three big moves: the T8320 chip, real biometric security on wrist, and battery life that stops being a meme. Alright, here's the rumor snapshot. The leak points to a 2026 Apple Watch Ultra 4 that isn't a safe yearly refresh. It's a platform shift. New silicon, new power strategy, new sensor architecture, and a design update that finally separates Ultra from the regular series watches in a meaningful way. And yes, it's all still rumor until Apple walks on stage, but the details we're hearing line up in a way that's hard to ignore, and it confirms what a lot of people have suspected. Ultra 1 through Ultra 3 have been the warm-up. Let's start with the biggest joke in the tech community: Ultra battery life. Apple markets up to 36 hours, and sure, in perfect conditions you might squeeze it, but real-world Ultra use? Workouts, GPS, sleep tracking, notifications, cellular, and an always-on display. A lot of people land in that 36 to 42 hour zone, and the 48-hour narrative starts looking generous. For a watch that's supposed to go into extreme environments, that's not great. Not because the Ultra is bad, but because the whole point is not thinking about the charger. Now here's where project in 240 gets interesting. The leak suggests Apple is finally changing the battery approach itself. We're hearing about a high-density battery stack paired with new efficiency cores, which is a fancy way of saying more capacity, smarter power management, and less wasted energy when you're not doing heavy tasks. And the important part is the target. It's not a few more hours. The chatter is pointing toward more than 48 hours, even in extreme use scenarios. That's the key phrase. Not up to airplane mode with everything off. Extreme use. If that's real, that changes how you use the watch. A weekend trip becomes automatic. A multi-day hike becomes realistic. And the dream scenario? A week of trekking where you're tracking workouts and sleep and GPS, and charging stops being the main plan. So what's powering all this? The chip. The name floating around is the T8320 processor, and if Apple's doing what this leak implies, this isn't just a bit faster. This is Apple recentering the Ultra around sensors and efficiency at the same time. According to the leak, the T8320 is designed around a new 8-sensor array on the back, not just incremental upgrades to heart rate and blood oxygen. The language being used is more like predicted fitness, heat acclimation, and recovery scoring that actually feels like it belongs in the same conversation as serious cycling computers and endurance gear. And that's the real strategy shift. Apple doesn't just want the Ultra to be a premium smartwatch. They want it to become a wrist-mounted health platform. A daily device that quietly collects better data, turns it into useful guidance, and over time gets closer to medical device territory. Now, quick reality check. Anytime you hear medical grade, take it with caution. Regulators exist, approvals take time, and Apple is careful with wording. But you can still see the direction. More sensors, a smarter chip, deeper metrics, and better battery to keep it running longer. That's how you build a health device people actually wear. But the feature that could go instantly viral is the one that fixes a pain point everyone knows. Touch ID on Apple Watch. Internal code hints that Apple is finally bringing biometric authentication to the watch, either integrated into the side button/crown area or potentially a sensing zone under the display. And if you've ever tried typing a passcode on a tiny screen with sweaty fingers or using Apple Pay while wearing gloves, you already know why this matters. This isn't some flashy spec sheet flex, it's a daily quality of life upgrade. It also changes what the watch can safely do: faster unlocking, smoother payments, and potentially more secure access to health data, apps, and even passwords. It's the kind of feature that makes the watch feel more independent from the iPhone. Now let's talk design, because project in 240 reportedly marks the first major visual shift since the original Ultra. The rumors point to a more refined titanium chassis, potentially slimmer, but without losing the rugged MIL and STD vibe that Ultra buyers actually want. The Ultra can't turn into a fashion watch. It needs to stay tough, but it can absolutely get cleaner, lighter, and more purpose-built. And there's a business reason Apple would do it now. Ultra is supposedly around 20% of Apple Watch sales. That's big. That's enough market share for Apple to justify giving it a stronger identity, instead of feeling like a slightly bulkier series watch with an action button. So if we put all the leaks together, the Ultra 4 starts sounding like the model Apple wanted to ship from the beginning. 1. A real battery leap. 2. A new chip designed for serious sensor work. 3. Next-level recovery and heat metrics. And biometric security that makes the watch easier to use every day. And if the timing holds, we're looking at an early September 2026 launch window. Which brings us back to the buying decision. If you're eyeing an Ultra 3, the question isn't, is it good? It will be good. The question is whether you want to buy the last model before a major platform jump. Because if Ultra 4 delivers even half of what this leak claims, Ultra 1, 2, and 3 are going to feel like prototypes for the real vision. Now I want your take. If Apple delivers true 2-day plus extreme use battery and adds Touch ID, is that an instant upgrade for you? Or is Apple still behind the dedicated outdoor and fitness brands? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want the fastest breakdowns on Apple leaks like this, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because when more details on Project 240 hit, we're going through all of it. If these rumors are real, the Ultra 4 isn't just the best Apple Watch. It could be the first one that makes the rest feel outdated overnight. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.